Hey everyone, it's Kayla. Welcome to my very first game ranking video. Today I'm diving into 5 of the worst rated games on Steam, but with a twist. To keep it fair and consistent, the game had to be tagged as a puzzle game. Now, before we get into it, I do have to give a trigger warning. The game that lands in last place includes themes of physical and emotional abuse, and it even tells the player to unalive themselves. I absolutely do not support that kind of content, and I'll give another warning when we get to that part of the video. Alright, let's go ahead and jump in, break it down, and find out what games bang and what games dang. Alright, taking 5th spot is Take Care of Me. You can see I got 4 achievements, and I played for 43 minutes. The user reviews were mostly negative. 27% of the 29 reviews of this game were positive. Now let's get into a few of those reviews on Steam. This is a bad game. It's an abused spouse chore simulator disguised as a horror game. Plus, it has flashing lights that will likely trigger photosensitivity. I like bad games, but not this one. Clunky mechanics, difficult to tell what you're trying to interact with, or even if you can interact with it at all. To use an item you're carrying, you drop it where you think you're supposed to use it. So tired of games where you can carry one thing at a time. Give me an inventory. The biggest reason to why I think this game should be recommended is for the young developers who want to make something small scale like this. This project could have turned out way better than it was, but it was just a learning process. There's still time to fix bugs and finish the game off with a bit of finesse. This game is pretty interactive. There's a lot that you can interact with. There's a lot that you could pick up, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to need that for the game to progress. Another issue that I have with this is the movements are really, really bad. So even when you stop, you still move a little bit. See how my hands come up off the keyboard and I still move some? And so I know that they're trying to make it realistic, but in reality, it was hurting my head. This was a glitch. It fell right through the floor. Bye bye, notepad. Hopefully, we didn't need you. The graphics, they were okay, but the game was really dark. I didn't even notice that this was a window at first. And so I decided to turn my graphics down, and it actually made the video quality even better. It made it a little bit brighter. There wasn't a brightness setting that I could adjust. But once I adjusted the video settings, you can clearly see that it's a window now. The trigger warning is coming up after I open this door. There'll be emotional abuse, and you'll hear the character say to unalive yourself.
Finally, I can get out of here.
I did nothing. I did nothing and that the door opened.
Let's see if you learn how to clean.
There's a lot going on with this part of the game too. The plate and the bottle were glitching together. It was
Let's
hard to
see
pick
if
them
you
up.
learn how to clean.
And you can tell that the person sitting down, they didn't put a lot of effort into making
Clean
it
up
look like an
the
actual
mess
person.
you've
He just
left.
kind of looks like a mannequin.
This is all your fault. This is all your fault.
This is on your fault.
Eat it all up. Let's see if you learn how to clean.
He
Let's
keeps
see if you
repeating
learn how
himself,
to clean
and you
up
can hear that
the
his
mess
voice is
you've
starting to
left.
overlap.
Eat all
It's
it
like
up.
he's
Eat all.
more than
Let's
one
see
person
if you learn how
talking.
to clean. Let's see if you learn how to clean.
Murder him.
Make a
Oh,
Mortal Kombat.
what have
Look
you
at this
done?
atrocity.
Killer, kill yourself. He doesn't deserve to
I
live.
have to figure
Die.
out how to open this.
Oh, but what have you done?
Look at this atrocity.
Killer, kill yourself.
I'm done with this game. Overall, I would give this game a 1 out of 10. If I can give it a 0 out of 10, I would, but I do want to be super fair, and every game that I play, I want to at least have a rating of a 1. I will uninstall this game. I will never play it again, and this game is 100% a dang for me. Coming in fourth is Sherlock Holmes: The Mystery of the Mummy. You can see I played it for only 4 minutes, and it's because the game wasn't playable for me. You're going to see the gameplay. The Steam reviews were mostly negative. 28% of the 496 reviews were positive. Let's get into a few of the Steam reviews. I completed this game using 70% of my own skill, 30% from guide. Game is fun but comes with drawbacks. The next paragraph says, game works fine on Windows 11, but you need to do some fixing by following guidelines available in Steam. Game crashes a lot when cutscenes come, so make sure you save from before cutscenes, but you need to reopen the game 2 to 3 times to watch each cutscene without crashing. Can't even start the game because of the mouse. I can't speak for the story, but I could hardly play due to issues with the mouse. This is the gameplay. You can see the game didn't open full window. This game is from 2008, so it is pretty old. The mouse was really glitchy. I was trying to move it upwards, but the actual hand was moving down when I was moving up. Sometimes when I would move up, it would move up. Sometimes when I moved up, it would move down. It was very glitchy and unplayable. I unfortunately was not able to test out this game. There were some good reviews on it for people who could actually open the game. This is going to be a 1 out of 10 for me, unfortunately, because I wasn't able to play the game. It's unfortunate because I love Sherlock Holmes. Hopefully the next Sherlock Holmes game that we play will be a little bit better than this. But for me, this game was a dang, unfortunately. Coming in third is Chambers Reunion. You can see I got all 4 achievements, and I played for 25 minutes. In those 25 minutes, I played the game through twice because I thought that I didn't complete the game the first time around. Also, spoiler alert for these comments in Steam if you ever feel like playing the game. The reviews were mostly negative. 37% of the 27 reviews were positive. Let's get into the reviews. I found myself with many questions after playing this, especially regarding David. Who is he and what ultimately happened to him? The game left me wanting more details about the story. It's free and completable. That's it. That's the game. You walk slow as shit down into a giant bowl of dirt with trees sticking out, all kinds of weird angles. You find a basement, find 2 fuses, get killed by some bald guy with nonsense carved all over his skin, then get sent back to the start screen. What kind of crap is this? Rating 1 out of 10. I don't have very many complaints about this game. My biggest complaint by far is how slow you move. You cannot sprint in this game, and it was driving me crazy. Both game playthroughs, I actually got stuck on the stairs just like this. So that's a little glitchy there. Once you find the hidden passage, it does get a little bit better. I like the music. It was a little bit eerie. I liked the creepy hallways and the dirty floors. It definitely felt a little bit spookier. Oh my Jesus. And that right there is why this is the only game out of the 5 that I am giving a bang. The overall rating for this game, I'm giving a 3 out of 10. Even though this is the only game that I gave a bang, it was still a really short game. It was only 12 minutes long. It was really annoying how slow you moved throughout the entire game. But overall, I would recommend it if you have 15 minutes before work and you want to get an entire game in. Go ahead and give this one a shot. Coming in second place is Jacob. You can see that I played this for 43 minutes and there are no achievements. The Steam reviews were mostly negative. 36% of the 102 reviews were positive. Now let's get into some of those reviews. Jacob tries to unite gameplay with a sociologic message. Starting difficulty is randomly picked to match the real-life starting difficulty of financially, socially, educationally weak people. Long review short, without the message, the educational part, Jacob would have been an easy puzzle game. Are you into easy puzzle games? Give it a try. It's not that bad. The purpose of this game is to get as high as possible, but I think you have to be high AF to enjoy this game. Nonetheless, 8 out of 10 game would build ladder into clouds again. It started off with a little bit of what this game was about, a little bit of backstory, and a lot of long and big words that I don't know how to pronounce. Case in point, which uses evidence from longitude studies, longitudinal studies. I can't even say these words. This game was a little hard to figure out at first. Once you put down a piece, you can't pick it up, you can't rotate it. I don't understand all the bad reviews on this game because it is just as it's described in Steam. No, it's not going to be a game that you're going to really play again because it's just the same thing over and over again. You're just building up ladders as high as you can go, trying to beat your last score, which I was able to beat my high score every single round that I played, and I played for almost an hour. The time does go by super fast, and if you're not paying attention, you definitely lose track of time, and if you don't make it up to the top of the ladder by the time runs out, you lose whatever you don't climb. This is me and my high score, 24. I was proud of myself. Overall, I would rate this a 4 out of 10. It is definitely something that I won't play again, but I did have fun playing it. I really enjoyed beating my high score every time that I played. I would recommend this to somebody who doesn't want to play a really long game and spend hours and hours getting achievements. There are no achievements in this game. You just build your ladder and hope for the best and try to beat your last high score. The only reason that I'm giving this game a dang is because you can't really play it again. It's only a one-time game and then you're done. And lastly, in first place, we have Heavy Dreams. I played for 62 minutes and I didn't get any of the achievements. This was actually a really hard game. The Steam reviews were mostly negative. 38% of the 176 reviews were positive. Now let's go ahead and get into a few of the reviews on Steam. Oh, quirky puzzle game? Count me in. Hang on, why can't I press tab to move between fields at the login page? Has the developer actually ever used a computer? If you're going to make me find a screenshot for a username password to log in, why would you make that screenshot low resolution that include characters which aren't unique in the chosen font? It took me a great deal of alt-tabbing and swapping characters to log in. This is not a hard puzzle, it's just annoying. Beginning, I have no idea what I'm doing. Later, fun, but still no idea what I'm doing. A few reviews from my chat. I'm not a fan of games with a lot of reading. If I wanted to do a lot of reading, I would pick up a book. I think you're at the point of calling this one rated accurately. It was a little hard to figure this game out at first. You had to go to other resources to try to find this username and password. And the only downside to this game is there was a lot of reading. I think that separates me from the other millions of me's for the sake of... Trust me, they have no shortage of stories. You didn't get into a top 10 college. One stone. Alright, that's really all. Signing off. P.S. Did you know that you could put... But a fun part was you get to type stuff in the calculator. And then Ruby came and shamed me for what I typed in the calculator. But she did help me figure some things out. Like I can move these pictures and stuff, and it was cool. And I got to shoot things. That's always a plus. But the downside is there is a website that you can go to that you can click on in this game. And when you type something in there, it actually opens up a web browser. So that may or may not be safe. Overall, I would rate this game a 5 out of 10. It's the only game out of the 5 that I feel like I'd probably go back to just to see if I could figure it out. Although it's really hard to find any kinds of clues. The words, in my opinion, were really hard to read. It was very blurry with the grid lines going through the screen. I know that they're trying to make it look like a little bit of an older computer, but it made the words really hard to read. That and how much there was to read was really the only downside to this game, the only thing I didn't really like about this game, but everything else, it was okay. It had nice ASMR clicking sounds when you typed on the keyboard or when you clicked on things. So I enjoyed that. Because of all of that, I'm gonna have to give this game a dang. Thank you so much for watching this video. It truly means so much to me. And guys, let me know in the comments what kinds of games I should play next. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you next time.